connect, serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell, www.houseofreconciliation.org.
Good morning and welcome in to the Greenville campus. We're here at the House of Reconciliation in Greenville, 1427 Suite E Lawrence Road. Thank you for joining us. Want to wish you that are local, that are across the nation and across the world, a happy Father's Day. And hopefully that you're having a wonderful time, whether you see this on the East Coast, West Coast, or across the globe. Also, it is Juneteenth. And so we're going to have Deacon Charles Beasley. He's going to read, because he is from the state of Texas, and give us a little bit of history, how we got to this point. So this time I will give you Deacon Charles Beasley.
The history of Juneteenth. Juneteenth, short for June 19th, marks the day when federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state and ensure that all enslaved people be freed. The troops' arrival came a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, which was signed January 1st, 1863. Juneteenth honors the end to slavery in the United States and is considered the longest-running African-American holiday. On June 17, 2021, it officially became a federal holiday.
All right, Miss Alana has, I don't know if you call it poetry or something for us. Yeah, you come up here, sir.
Okay, so this is about succeeding. To succeed is defined as to be successful. To be successful means to have the ability to provide for yourself. Succeeding does not come overnight. It takes time. Great achievements take time to develop. Succeeding can be shown in different ways. For instance, you can succeed in life, school, in activity, etc. The main key to success is to block all unnecessary distractions. It doesn't matter how much you love or appreciate this distraction. It's not worth losing your chance to succeed. Distractions can be known as lovers, friends, enemies, partying, social media, etc. The more you lose your focus, the more your vision can disappear. Another key to being successful is to stop seeking validation. Seeking validation allows another person of being to tell you about your well-being. To clarify, when you seek validation, you are allowing someone to make you feel accepted or accomplished. Now, seeking validation doesn't have to be a bad thing. Validation can be used to lend positivity. If it is used for bad, it is now problematic when the focus becomes on all you do.
And she wrote that herself in the summer camp. Yep, summer camp. Good morning to all. I want to just share with you, I know today is Father's Day, and they gathered a little bit of information for me. Well, actually, it's a lot of good information. And so I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to talk with you a little bit about one specific area of it. Fatherhood. Fatherhood is a state of being a father. A person enters fatherhood when they become a father. This most commonly happens when a child is born, but when it also can happen through adoption or by marrying or becoming a partner to someone with children. The definition of fatherhood in the Urban Bible is male parent, one who loves, supports, guides, inspires, encourages his children. The other one is, I think that's me more so than you. The other one is his children, man of strong character who teaches by example. step up to the challenge of raising his children to be kings and queens. This comes from the Urban Dictionary. It's considered a protector, a provider, a lover, a strong foundation. The importance of a father in a home. 43% of children are more likely to make A's in school when there is a male presence, 33% less likely to repeat a grade, 60% less likely to be suspended or expelled from school, 75% less likely to have teen birth, 80% less likely to spend time in jail, and 50% experience multiple depression symptoms when there is not a father in the home. Fatherhood project. When dads are involved at school, either through engaging with students in the classroom or interacting with teachers, faculty, or other parents, their children learn more and perform better in school, exhibit healthier behavior, are more likely to participate in extracurricular activities, have fewer discipline problems, and overall enjoy school more. This comes from Michigan.gov. Early positive father involvement leads to spending time together, leads to greater academic success. Lending emotional support leads to more positive social behavior. Giving everyday assistance leads to fewer conduct problems. Monitoring children's behavior leads to better self-esteem. Using unconceived discipline leads to a lower level of depression. Providing clear boundaries and expectation leads to reduced contact with juvenile justice system. According to the Department of Education, 1 out of every 4 children live in a home without a biological father present or a father without a father. That absent leads to psychological effects. Infants father presents can lead to a positive healthy outcome, including improved weight gain and premature babies. What I want to share with you briefly here is the building of a covenant. And that comes out of Proverbs 13 and 22. And it kinds of speaks to this. And it says that Proverbs 13:22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but a sin of wealth is stored up for the righteous. There are two various things that most men, and as we look at Juneteenth, never heard. And many times, even today, there are things, situations, and people who tend to want to steal or crack your foundation. Because the ice seems to be and appear to be colder on the other side. Every man has an innate inheritance. I look at it and I set a pathway forward. I mentioned that to them when they sent me this material. It's because many times people, as well as men, as well as mothers, as well as children, are always looking at the hand of behind. They never see the hand that's moving. Wow. And so many times what happens with children, and I can speak for myself, we as men, and this is not an excuse, this is a reality, never really had any examples. This goes back to Dr. Lisa Firestone when she talks about the in-home culture. If you never saw your father hug your mother, bring her flowers, show her affection, then you don't see a woman as a partner, as a support. You see them more as a commodity. There's a hidden rule somewhere, which I've never found it, that says women are to cook and wash clothes and have babies, and I haven't found that in the book of life. That's a perception that was perceived. And when there is not effective communication, there's breakdown. Because how you communicate it, in which myself personally have learned, is many times not how it is received. And it takes two, or it takes a group of people. So when you've never seen it, you didn't grow up in it, because many times what was on television was always somebody else. People can say what they want, but we ought to thank God for Bill Cosby. Now, you can criticize whatever, that's your opinion, court, all of that. Bill Cosby showed the urban community that you could have something more than a low-end skilled job and you can be something. And family, see, because you have to understand the dynamics of why it took so long to get Juneteenth and things like that. It's because if you don't think nothing of yourself, then that won't be nothing of you and your family. So we adopt cultures that don't fit our innate skill set. Well, what does that mean? You can't put yourself down and then expect for other people to raise yourself up. And so when you have no examples, and men are like wolves, I know the other term that people like to use, they're more adapt to be by themselves, and they're single hunters. Well, you have to understand that we can win more in a pack and bring down greater prey. But if people have already disturbed and broken up your home, and most people come from broken homes, and then you don't have any kind of foundation. When the Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance, how can you leave an inheritance when you don't have anything for yourself? And having something for yourself is not shoes and clothes and jewelry and a bunch of children across the city. That's right. That's not an inheritance. I didn't wake up until my late 30s. And I had 3 children, 3 wonderful children, 2 girls and 1 boy. And I don't know, I was between 36 and 39, and I said, you know, you're real stupid. You have 3 children, and you don't have a car or anything for your children. See, what it really says, if you really dug deeper in it, it is saying to a person, with God, should be able to clear and balance you for the areas that you are deficient. Because what you didn't get naturally, God can give it to us. And every man who wants to become a husband, and I'm so would love to, but don't have the time to deal with the word band and hood. See, it isn't a person respecting your physical ability as it is you being a provider. It's not your size. It's not your procretude. It's not how tall you are. It's not the texture of hair or the color of your eyes. That doesn't make you a man. Many times that's just a grown boy. Okay? Men accept and embrace responsibility. Real men and godly men will accept when they're wrong. And they will say, I'm one to say, I'm not telling you something I haven't learned and I'm something I'm not learning. Sometimes you have to go talk to your children. Sometimes you have to shut up and listen. Because how they see it is not how you see it. Because at their mind and at their age, they didn't understand. And probably at that time, you probably would not balance. That's why every man needs God to center him. Because I always say this, see anybody that's in training, whether they're a professional or whether they are in the church, 99% of what you've seen is not how it's supposed to go. And 3 things that every man needs to learn, and I'm not no exception, is understanding time, space, and communication with children. Children aren't something that you just send a check to every month. That's not being a father. Our children are in distress because the foundation of the homes are not what they should. And let's be real about it. You don't always get along with the mamas. I might have let that one sink in. You don't always. But here's the thing I say to you as one that can speak from the truth. That doesn't mean that you should be absent in your children's life. All right? It doesn't mean if you go on and get married to somebody else. And here's the thing. I always say this to people, and I say this to women. Don't let men grow up on you. Don't let them mistreat you. So then you have an askew view of men. And he's treated you like nothing, and because he's lost within himself. See, women, there's 2 things here. Women are normally the ones that build men up. It was my Aunt May who was way off the wagon. But my Aunt May, no, I'm serious, my Aunt May, she shoot up the building. No, that I mean for real. When she ran over my uncle in the car and pinned him up against the trailer, I knew then my Aunt May was a real baller. She would physically do it. She dead now, you know. But my Aunt May was, but she is the one that taught me how to shine my shoes. She taught me principles. She said, listen, she said, you're going to be a fine little man. And it wasn't about you were the right size or the right color or the right texture. She said, but your shoes need to be clean. And they were not tennis shoes. They were not tennis shoes. So she sat me down and taught me how to polish shoes. That was my aunt. Because at that time, she didn't have her son, my cousin Caleb, who played for James Brown for 15 years. And so women, and the reason I say this, women are notorious for building up men. But men are not notorious for building up women. You can't, a woman, and that's how most women get used. Oh, I'm going to do, he got to look good, child. Every woman tries to dress a man, you know, and make him look good. I'm serious. I have a master's in cosmetology and all of that. And here's the crazy part. The most heads I cut, mothers brought their sons to the barbershop. That's true. There probably was less than 3% of men that would bring their kids to the barbershop. Moms was like, Mom got to take me, or make it, give him a little part over here, make it look cute. I was like, you can't make this look cute, but that's your, you know. So mothers have always, and see, and this is the thing I try to tell men. Men don't have a strong support system, and that's not an excuse. But, and I said this to some people because the mothers are the ones that pulled a lot of this material together for me. A woman would generally help a young mother out by babysitting, caring for a kid. Women have a bond. Women have a bond. Men, we still falling. About the biggest thing we got is ego. And that's the worst thing that can work for you. It's ego. Oh man, oh man. Just because you say you're a man don't make you a man. Facts. And when you create these little people, and I'm saying this to mothers and fathers, you need to have time and space and money. Big mama ain't at the house no more. And money, you got to have money. You got to have money. You got to have money. And let me say something. Giving money to the mothers does not raise your children. So ain't no need of fussing and cussing. What is it? Child support, child wealth? Yeah. And I can be honest with you. I was on it. And I never missed. Thank God for my grandmother. But real women, sometimes you can work out. But you got to be real. And you can work out something. So that's not real women. You can work out. There's some good women out there, and they'll be like, "Nah, I'm not putting you on child support." But here's the point: you got to be a man of your word. That part. You listen. Let me be real with y'all. You got to have less when you get children. You have less, and they have more. When you single, you can get all this attention. You can be cute, run out there with your hair done. When you're a mama, sometimes it's a shame that your daughter's hair look worse than your mama. It's a shame that a man is clean as a whistle at the club trying to holler at somebody new. And I don't know why women always want to have a baby by a man that don't support his present kids. Like something about your cookie is going to make him stay with you. Come on. Help. I'm not the one. I'm not the one you wanted for Father's Day, but I'm the one you get. I'm talking to real people. I'm not talking to these people that they have all this stitchery stuff. And, oh my God. I'm talking to real folk. You're looking at a man that slept in his car. And I can tell you about myself. Right. I can tell you about myself. Yes, sir. My youngest daughter, I love her. But she didn't understand sometime when I dropped her off to my sisters and to real women who were friends because she didn't know her daddy was homeless. You can't stay with me and I'm sleeping in the car. So I couldn't tell you that your dad was sleeping at Cleveland Park. But in your mind, you felt your daddy abandoned you. But I can't have you sleeping in the car with me because I was a man with kids, but I wasn't a father. I was a man with kids, but I wasn't a father. I had to come back to God and learn how to be a father and a provider. So the 2 years that I was homeless, that I slept in my car, is when I really started spending time with God. So and it may not fit everybody, because, you know, people are who they are, but I'm talking to people who really, really want to turn their life around, a path forward. I can't fix what is broken. I can't go back in that time for my children. And it's not just my youngest daughter, it's my other two kids. They didn't want to have nothing to do with it. And this is what I would say to mothers. You and the father can hate each other's guts, but you should not blast and you should not degrade that child, that man, in front of that child. Good word, good word. And men, you should not call that mother names and disregard her to your child. That's good. Let me explain to you why. That child is standing in the middle, and they don't know which one to pick and dislike. Yes. I'm talking about it. That's good. My own son said to me that when I went through my divorce, because, you know, my history, I don't mind sharing it, he had to go move with his grandparents. My son is probably funnier, which I never try to be funny. He's got a better personality than me. But the problem is because his culture, where he came up in his most impressionable years, he suppressed it because they criticized his father. Because y'all think y'all got it bad. There ain't nothing worse than being a backslidden preacher and let church folks say you got a baby out of wedlock. And half the people in the church got a baby out of wedlock. Now, I know wedlock isn't a word that people understand no more. That's basically having a child and you're not married to her. And you're not married to a mama, nor that mama, nor that mama, nor that mama. Break it down. And I tell women this, if you all raise your standards, we have to raise ours. Yeah. Quit competing for trash. That's powerful. That's powerful. Quit competing for trash. He ain't got nowhere to live. He can't keep a job. All right? He won't even cut his hair or shape it up. You got to buy him clothes and his tennis shoe. Let that kick skates. Let me help women out, and let me help men out, because I did not know, it was from a good friend, Bishop Akers, told me I have 65% following with men. So let me talk to the men, and I don't know why y'all follow me, but thank God y'all do. But let me talk to you. Your worth is not in your tennis shoes. Stop buying tennis shoes. Wow, that's powerful. Stop buying tennis shoes. I cannot figure out why are you 30-something, 40-something years old still trying to buy one brand of tennis shoe? I have not figured that out yet. Stop buying. You got a house and tennis shoe collection. Wow. Then you get mad when somebody step on your tennis shoes and then you put a crease in them. I don't understand. I don't know what it is. Ain't none of us that person. Ain't none of us would ever be. Look in the mirror. So we have to, as men and women, stop torturing our children. Let your children know that you're a failure. It's okay. Just tell the truth. Look, your daddy wasn't in a good place. I think mine waiting on me to die now because I got a little something. They're like, well, if he die on Thursday, we have his funeral. Yeah, that's right. Don't you let him go. Let him go. I didn't like him no way. I asked him to take me to the fair. That monkey went to work. I didn't like him no way. But you have to realize, if you be honest, because I've been honest with my son. I've been honest with my daughter. Your dad was not in a good place. All right, and let me help you out. Let me help you out. This is just real. I'm talking from truth. And then they look at you like you crazy, because now you got grandchildren, and the grandchildren get time that your biological kids didn't get, because when you start to build something, you don't have a lot of time.
That's good. That's good word, man. Good word.
You don't have like daddy on the road, daddy trying to get this done, daddy trying to get that done, daddy trying to get that done. And then when your grandkids come along, they just get $20 every time they see you. Like, I couldn't get a pair of shoes 2 years in a row. Yeah, come on, Papa, Papa, Papa. Can I have somebody? You like, look, he done gave them more money in 6 months than he gave me the whole time I was alive. So here's what I'm saying. Any of us, including myself, we cannot go back and erase your pain, your hurt, your anger, and we cannot erase the failure, because truly a real father would admit, I failed in many areas. And so what I'm saying to the men who listen to me, who are real brothers, nobody's trying to change you, nobody's trying to put a suit and tie on you, but I need you to change your behavior. I need you to change your perception. Most of our kids are in good hands because a mother has a good support system. May not be the best, but also, men, we can't turn back the clock. But what we can do is clear it up, be honest about it, and ask for forgiveness.
Yes, sir.
And apologize to the mom. Apologize to the kids. And say, let us create a path forward. Okay? I can't fix what I didn't do. Come on, son. This is my son right here. Come on, son. Listen, I can be very honest. No, she didn't set you up. No, I'm glad you're here, because, see, I am not trying to reach the bougie people. I'm trying to be real people. And so my son, he and I had a real good talk one time. And I said to him, I can't be the father that I should have been back then. But this man right here is a 10-time better father than I ever was. He takes his family on trips. Come here, baby. This is my girl right here. He took this baby, and I tried to tell people in the family. I said, she came to us when she was 2 years old. And she's been a part of our family ever since. And so now he's about to complete the adoption of a child that he's not the biological father. Hold on. But I told this man, because he's a man, and this is what I'm saying. Quit seeing your children as a boy. He's a man now. Quit seeing your daughter like she's 6. She's a woman now. And for a man to adopt one of the beautifulest little 2-year-old girls I've ever seen, and she's smart as a rock. I would call him sometime, and he'd be like, oh, me and Alana, we're going to get ice cream. And I think about, I never took him to get ice cream. In fact, I don't ever think I took him to the park to play. Somewhere he found an example. And he didn't find it from me. Because I'm a workaholic. So he took this little girl, and he's adopting her. And then I got a little grandson. That's another story for another day. We're going to leave him back there. But real men, and I'm saying this for a reason. If you love the mother, you have to love the children.
Yes.
If you love the mother, you can't love, listen, mothers, don't ever discard your kids for a man.
Wow.
If he can't embrace your children, then he ain't the husband and he ain't the real man to cover. Real men don't judge you from your past, because we all had to grow up somewhere and we all didn't make good decisions. So I cannot be no more honest to say I'm proud to be his father, even though I wasn't the father that I should have been to him and his sisters. but somehow he found it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Now, if you give me my money back, I'll be all right. But you have to find a path forward. You have to say, I can't fix it. And the worst thing you can do is get old and your children don't want to have anything to do with you. Don't want to have anything to do with you. And if for those of you who were lucky and had a father and had a good home, more power to you. But it's more of us that had fathers in the home but didn't have a father in your life. You have a father at the house, but he's not a father in your life. So I said today, I told God, I said, the only thing I can say is just tell the people the truth. This ain't about hits and views. If you want to like and share and comment, that's up to you. Because everything I've said is not going to change. And let me explain something to you right now. I don't know, and I'm speaking for myself. I can't love one of my children better than I love the other. It doesn't matter who their mother is or not. I have to love them because this is what I said to all three of them. And this is me personal now. I can't call, and I told my kids, y'all can't grow up and say, that's my stepsister, that's my half-sister. We family. And let me show you how we family. Which one of you have less blood in you that came from me? And people got to understand, kids squabble. But I've always said to them, listen, whatever I do for your sister, I got to help you. Whatever I do for my son, that's the precedent that I have to help my two daughters. Thing that I say to my kids, don't know if they're listening or whatever, I have no other choice but to love you. And what I look for is a pathway forward. So I celebrate my son, I celebrate my daughters, I celebrate the support system that they've had. But as a father, be a father and just not a daddy. Be more than a paycheck. And if you haven't been in your child's life, apologize. Because what they feel is real. It may not be your reality, but what they feel is real. You got to listen. You got to take it. And you don't have to agree with the mother. Quit trying to say, I don't fool with you because of your mama. Because the kid belongs to both of you. Yes. And mothers, for the men who are trying to get themselves together, don't keep the kids away from them. Amen. And fathers, you need to see your kids. Catch them early. Because when they get older, they're going to do their own thing. But here's the thing that I say I live by now. As long as I do right, I can't fix what was broken. Find and create a path forward. I can't change any of the pain that you feel. I can ask you to forgive me and hope you give me another chance, but just do what's right. And if you gather anything, there's two things that a spiritual father should have. One, you have an innate ability that you have not discovered. Two, you got a spiritual birthright. The law will not let you leave one of your children out. I'm not going to die and try to get in heaven. And I didn't do right by my children. You have to. You have to. Because at the end of the day, they're still your child. And I expect you guys, because someone sat down with you, a person of color, to say, when you stand up, you just don't stand up because of your ability as a male, a masculinity. You stand up because you have an innate inheritance, you have a spiritual birthright, and you should be setting something up, not only for you, but for your children and your children's children. And when you do that and you get back to God, and I encourage men, get God in your life, because we didn't have a lot of examples. Don't let the street destroy you, because ain't many people came from the streets that were really, really successful. They had a flash, but they didn't have stability. Get with God, get balance, and ask God to help you. And never, as a man, take a woman that can't embrace your children. If we can't embrace each other's flaws and be a family, because see, I know a man. I know a man that took other children, wonderful man, and raised them as a family. There are some good examples out there. We need you to be the next example. God bless you. I'll see you soon.